according to a patent filing that has only recently come out into the public eye. Amazon is preparing a service for game distribution and sales connected to Twitch, which they purchased in 2014 for close to $1 billion. They're preparing this to go head-to-head with the behemoth Steam. Now, as a consumer, I'm excited about this because no doubt if Amazon takes the same approach to this that they've taken with practically every other new venture that they've opened up, whether it be Amazon Prime, Amazon TV, Amazon whatever it is, they tend to take the approach that they're not going to try to make money on it right away. They're rather going to get a market share, a stake, their foot in the door, however you want to put it. And then once they control a certain portion of the market, then they can adjust their prices and services such that they can make a profit. This is why up until, I believe, last year, Amazon had never had a positive earnings. They had always lost money in terms of actual income. But because the potential and the infrastructure was there, these stockholders and everyone saw the potential for it and would continue to pour money into the company, which is why even now Amazon's stock price is over $800. And it's because people see this potential. And this would be one such potential revenue stream. Now, what is it specifically? Well, Amazon purchased Twitch back in 2014 for $970 million cash. They purchased up every single outstanding share of stock, and they took over control of the company. Now, Twitch, no doubt, is the largest live streaming source or site in the world. It just is. Twitch TV is massive. And with that massive outreach are many, many, many viewers and potential customers. And the idea behind this patent was that Amazon is going to take an approach where they are trying to connect the viewers more closely with the streamer. So essentially allowing them to watch a streamer play some sort of game, and then they say, hey, this game looks fun, I want to join in. And there's a direct link to purchase and download the game, and then they can jump right into the match that their streamer is playing in and get involved. And so it's an attempt to unify the viewer and the streamer all together while selling copies of games. Now, the reason I said that Amazon, of all people, could stand a chance against Steam is because of how they tend to approach these sorts of new ventures. And that's specifically with the idea of sacrificing initial profits for the sake of gaining a market share. Now, Steam tends to take at least 30% by most estimations, roughly 30% from each sale that they make. Now, considering that this is over a digital medium and a digital platform, there's no overhead for these developers. So all they have to do is submit their game, their file to Steam, and then Steam distributes it, takes 30%. The other 70 goes directly to the developer. If you're selling hard copies of these games, you're looking at spending much more money, not just on the physical copies, the printing of the case, art, the CDs, and everything, the Blu-rays, whatever it is. You're not just looking at that, but you would also be looking at paying the retailers a cut. You're looking at paying the distributor a cut. You're looking at paying so many people different portions that you'd probably only get 30 or 40% of each $60 for a brand new game after everyone takes their share. So Steam naturally is a very profitable source for indie developers and for big budget studios as well, because they tend to keep more of each sale than they would receive with hard copies. But with Amazon's approach, they could easily approach this very simply and say, hey, we're only going to take 10% of each sale. So you get to keep 20% more per sale on Amazon's gaming site or gaming selling service. And, it's straightforward and it's connected to Twitch and it's super easy. The publicity is there. It's advertising, free advertising, and you get more money. So why not? Now, this would take Steam off guard a little bit. It would be incredible to see this behemoth come in and be challenged. And the reason that this is good for the consumer is because monopolies in general do not favor the consumer. Now, I am a big fan of Steam. I use it practically every day. I think that they're very fair. And I think they approach a lot of these things very well with Steam refunds. They've had a few hiccups here and there, like the paid mods and things like that. But in general, they tend to be a fairly consumer-friendly company. But to have competition, especially a massive company like Amazon take you on, is really just, it can't hurt. If anything, it just will drive innovation. It will drive prices down because they have to compete with each other. Really, it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for Amazon because they're getting another stake. It's a win for Twitch because it's going to integrate the games more closely. And it's a win for the consumers because it will probably drive prices down and make the games more readily available. Now, of course, I'm not going to pretend like it's all, roses and daisies. There is a potential downside to this, which would be that Twitch just turns into a spam service to try to sell games. Do I think that's what it's going to turn into? No, I don't. Based on how Amazon has run things in the past, they tend to take a more nuanced approach to these things. Look at the Amazon streaming service or Amazon's music sales and things like that. They tend to be more nuanced in their approach. They don't shove it down your throat like some other services might. So it's something we'll have to wait and see. But really, if Amazon comes out with a service, you can either buy stuff from it, you can either support it, or you can turn it down and say, no, I'm sticking to Steam. I got my big library there. I'm going to stick to it and just keep building it there instead of doing something with Amazon games or whatever they're going to call it. You can do that. Or if the prices are lower and if the distribution is good and if it's cool to integrate it directly with the streamer so that you can live or play games with your streamers without having to do any funky searching for servers and everything. It's all automated. If that can be done, then yeah, I'm sure many people would be really interested in that. I'm sure that could be really, really fun and really cool. In which case you will see this new source of revenue, this new game distribution service really take a strong foothold, and Steam will be taken off a bit, but I think that's good. Hey, did you like that? Well, that was just an extra of the full show that I do every single weekend. So if you haven't seen it yet, then you got to make sure to check it out. Links popping up everywhere in the description box as well. And subscribe if you haven't already to become a member of the Bowel Movement.